All right. Shalom, shalom. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakodash. This is your brother Amawan Ariello with the GMS Miami Camp, and I'm coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And, through the Spirit, man, things are starting to take a drastic change, man. Like, this whole thing with Israel being unified with America's military and, all these different bills and laws that are being passed to where now Americans are starting to get upset, through social media, but there's no real reaction, right? Like, we know that, in times before, Americans used to revolt and go against their tyrannic government, but, it's starting on social media, but it hasn't really happened yet to its full effect. But man, we're starting to see the downfall of Esau's kingdom, man, and it's beautiful because we are seeing it, right? This is the book of 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. It says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." Esau's world is coming to an end, Akim. Man, and the video that I have here, is regards to this, a nigga woman, you know what I'm saying? Talking about revolt, but this is not our fucking world, man. Let Esau do what he gotta do to protect his fucking kingdom. But we know ultimately Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to bring an end to this fucking world, man. He's going to bring an end to this age. He's going to bring an end to this period of time. Okay, and all we have to do is pretty much sit back and trust in the power and spirit of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rekachodash, because we know that Esau Edom, and this is how you know the Lord is fair. Esau Edom had his opportunity to rule, right? He has the best places, the dew of heaven. And let me see if I can find that through the precepts, Salakia. Right, because he cried bitterly to his father. Father, what about me? Bitch ass nigga. Esau cried to his father. His father gave him a blessing, Isaac. It's the book of Genesis 27 and 34. It says, "And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father," because Jacob had already received the blessing. Esau was supposed to be upright and say, "Hey, look, I sold the blessing to my younger brother Jacob. Pops, you don't have to bless me with the fatness of, give it to Jacob. You know what I'm saying? And I'll just keep my integrity and I'll just get, keep what I got." But no, he tried to fucking deceive his dad. He didn't tell his dad that he sold his blessing to Jacob. So when Jacob supplanted his ass, yo bitch ass nigga, yeah, Jacob supplanted your bitch ass and you got mad. Right? Because he already peeped what kind of person you are. You weren't forthwith. You weren't honest. Okay, you try to lie about the fact that you sold your birthright to Jacob, and all that was done through the spirit. This is why when Esau came out, he came out with no fucking melanin. His blood was showing forth through his skin because it was already predetermined through the womb that he was the wicked. He was the one that the Lord is going to hate. And the Lord hates Esau. But yet the Lord is still fair. Gave Esau the opportunity to rule in righteousness, but he did not. He ruled in wickedness, destroyed the earth, destroyed the air, destroyed the water, destroyed the food, destroyed the people. Everybody hates his ass, and he thinks for some reason that he is the superior fucking race. You're not the superior race. You cannot possibly think that you're a superior race. Especially when we talk about the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American building up your country, building up what the things that you enjoy today was created and invented by Esau, so-called white man. Okay? But he cried bitterly with a bitter cry. In verse 35 it says, "And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety and has taken away thy blessing." But it was already set up to the Spirit. The Lord already knew that he was going to give the blessing to Jacob, whose name was later on changed to Yashar Allah, he Prince Power. And he said, "Isn't it not rightly named so Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times." Right. Now let's look into the word supplant, because Esau thinks he's fucking slick. Bitch ass nigga. All right, to supplant. By strategy or scheming, right? To trip up, to overthrow, drive out, usurp, or directly overthrow. Okay? He beguiled. Okay? Meaning what? Jacob used his wits, man. He used his brain because he was a man of the tents. He was all about studying. He was all about wisdom. He was all about studying the scribes, the scripts. Jacob was Esau was a carnal man. Going out in the woods, just depending on his strength. But Esau did not think about the spiritual aspect of everything. Or he goes and say, replace one with another. So Esau was supplanted, right? The Lord replaced him with his younger brother. Okay? Esau was rejected. Oh, man. It says, verse 36, Genesis 27:36, and he said, is he not rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times, right? He usurped me. He replaced me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, right? Because when Esau came, he told Jacob, man, some of this day, let me see, Salakia. I'll get it for you. It's the book of Genesis 25. Salakia. Genesis 25:31. Let me go back a little bit more. Genesis 25:26, and it said, Jacob sawed pottage, meaning he was boiling meat. He sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was very faint, meaning he was hungry. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore his name was called Edom. Why? Because Edom, or Adawam in the Paleo Hebrew, means what? Red. And yeah, he had red pottage, but he is also red, meaning what? He doesn't have any melanin. He doesn't have any protection from the sun. So what shows through the skin of the so-called white man is his blood. This is why he's called Esau, which means wasted away is he. Edom, which means red, because he has no complexion. He looks like one who was wasted away. His blood is showing forth through his skin. He is not white. Wear a white shirt and stand next to Edomite and see if he matches up that color of your white shirt. He is red. That's what Edom means, red. And he said in verse 30, Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom, which means red. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Yo, fool, you sold your birthright. Nigga. When your pops was about to pass away, he was supposed to get the blessing. You were supposed to say, you know what, pops, don't worry about me. I sold my birthright. Jacob's is the firstborn now, but you didn't do that. Right? So it says in verse 31, it says, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. What profit shall this birthright do to me? So Esau's more carnal. He sold his birthright. Now, when you understand a birthright, what does that mean? That means that we're going to be the ones who's going to be the apple of the Lord's eye. We're going to be the peculiar people. We're going to be the ones to inherit the earth. We're going to be the ones to inherit the universe. We're going to be the ones who are going to have everlasting bodies. We're going to have everything. We're going to be ruling with who the world calls Jesus Christ, but his name is Yahushai. Rulership, kingship, priesthood. This is what Esau sacrificed for a bowl of fucking red stew. So now he's coming to his senses and he's realizing, damn, I done messed up. I done sold my birthright. And this guy, Jacob, he's going to rule over me forever. But damn, Esau, you had an opportunity to do right. Yeah, the Lord sent us into captivity because of our wickedness, but bro, you was not supposed to do what you did during the time of our captivity. You went above and beyond. You were wicked with it. So now you mad. Verse 33, it says, and Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him and sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his word. What does it mean to despise his birthright? This is verse 34, Genesis 25, 34. Let's look up the word despise. First, let's go. Let's see what Merriam-Webster says. Okay, it says despise, to feel contempt or a deep repugnant for. Okay, now let's look up the word contempt. Define contempt. Salakia. All right, contempt is a powerful feeling of or attitude of disdain, disgust, disrespect towards someone or something considered inferior or worthless. So Esau looked at the blessing as something to be worthless. He had no respect for it. It was disgusting to him. The Lord was disgusting to Esau. This is why Esau was rejected. Okay? Verse 34 says, and then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Yo, Esau is the end of this world, man. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, we're starting to see his kingdom fall to fucking pieces, man. Your whole military, American and the Israeli military, are now going to be merged together. There's not going to be a difference between Israel and America. And these fucking Israelis don't give a damn about you so-called Americans, man. They look at you like Goyim. You typical white Americans, you're screwed. And for those of you so-called Negro Americans that want to take, arms with the fucking so-called white man, look, if you do that shit, you're going to be done. And rightly so. The Lord knows how to pass judgment. The Lord knows how to fucking save. He knows how to have mercy and compassion. But for those of you who are operating in wickedness, who willfully sin against the Heavenly Father, the Lord's going to fucking destroy you, man. America is done. Micah 2:10 says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, for it shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction. So your mindset is not supposed to be here and building up America and all these different things, man. The whole point is to fucking depart from this place mentally, man, spiritually. Even though you are here physically, your spare time, you need to be seeking the Lord, because really, in reality, there's nothing that's going to stop this demon Esau from doing what he wants to do. America will be a totalitarian, dystopian country. Well, corporation, because America is not a country anymore. It's a corporation. You see? Things are about to get real crazy out here, man. And it would behoove you to serve the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai the best that you can. Because things are going to just escalate and it's going to get worse. And these Negroes that think just because they got a couple hundred bullets that they can go against Esau, who has hundreds and thousands of bullets, Esau's going to mow you down if you revolt. Matter of fact, let's get this. Because in reality, the nation of Israel, we're considered to be worms, man. Okay? Meaning what? We don't have any protection. We don't have any covering. The only thing we can do as a children of the Heavenly Father is to have patience. This is the book of Isaiah 41:4, which when you read it goes into 144. It says, for fear not, thou worm Jacob, and you men of Israel. It's not talking about no other nation. It's not talking about Moab. It's not talking about the fucking original colonizers that call themselves Americans. No, this is talking about, okay, Yahweh Shai coming to the defense of Jacob. It says, fear not, thou worm Jacob, and you men of Israel. Right? Only Israel, no other nation. I will help thee, saith the Lord Yahweh, thy Redeemer and thy Holy One of Israel. Redeemer just means to buy back. When you redeem your tickets at a arcade, you're trying to get the prize that was owed to you because of the tickets you had. You're redeeming your prize through your tickets. All right. So this is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, starting at verse 5. It says, "Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath. You were delivered unto your enemies, for you provoked him that made you by what? Sacrificing unto devils and not the Most High God." You knew the right way. We knew the right way, but we chose otherwise. So with that, the Lord has to, do what he do. Okay? But look, yeah, we at the end, man. We at the end. All right? We're at the end. Ain't no revolution, man. You could try to revolt. When you go into that word revolt, it's like, yeah. And when you go into that word revolt, okay, it's like, yeah. All right, it goes into revolt. Preliminary means to active fight against or refuse to obey an authority, usually a government. Also means experience or cause of severe disgust. So, to break it down, make it simple, when we talk about you want to revolt against merit, that means you're going to fight against